This conference will now be recorded.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and good afternoon everyone. A warm welcome to this international training and internship program. This is Monica from Tech Counselor team, and I welcome to all audience as well as experts, Dr. Semwal, Ms. Priyanka, Mr. Mukesh, Ms. Renu, and today's expert, Vinay Chaudhary sir. Thank you for accepting our request for today's session. I am thankful to Tulaz Institute of Technology and Tech Counselor Group for organizing such a wonderful program. We have our co-organizers, Krishna Institute of Medical Science, deemed to be university from Maharashtra. We also have Uttarakhand Technical University with us as technical partner. And for knowledge partner and technical partner, we have Uvayana Tech and Craft Private Limited and Ramanujan Academy of Science and Technology. Then we have Swachh Group with us. Also, we have Bodhik Ventures providing IP support, and then we have Kaviraj Foundation and Trides as our CSR partner. I'm very much thankful for whole team for organizing this wonderful program, which was started on 20th of June and will be going on till 15th of July. We have conducted this program in line with Government of India's vision and mission to make India a global R&D hub. So we have various experts and they have already conducted 11 seminars so far. We already had Mr. Madan Kanala, founder and CEO, SNOAM from Ottawa, Canada, Dr. Raman Sharma, a senior scientist, CSIR NEERI from Delhi, Dr. Rajkumar Heldar, CEO and founder, Juvenile Biomedical Private Limited from New Delhi, Professor Manoj Panda, a senior professor from Govind Ballabh Pant Institute of Engineering and Technology, Pauri Garhwal, and State Project Administrator, State Project Implementation Unit from Uttarakhand, Mr. Naveen Kumar, a research engineer from France, Mr. Shiv Prasad Koeda, a data scientist from in Sophie, Hyderabad, Mr. Abhishek Gupta from Hungary, Mr. Ajit Kumar Yadav, a researcher, NASA, ISRO, Nisar, and he is also founder of Ramanujan Academy, Maharashtra, India. Also, we had Saurav Trivedi, founder and director, Bodhik Ventures Private Limited. And today we had Mr. Vinay Chaudhary, assistant professor from UPS Dehradun. In the coming days, we will also having Dr. Sunil Semwal, Mr. Udayveer Mittal, Ms. Shakshi Gupta, Jayant Pawar, and Ms. Renu Thapliyal. In addition, Yashodan sir, a senior industry consultant, and Mohan sir, an IT professional over 4 decades of experience in ICT domain, will be joining us. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Dr. Sunil Semwal to kindly introduce today's expert, Mr. Vinay Chaudhary, for the session. And we hope that this session will be wonderful for experts and audience as well. And now handing over to you, sir. Sunil, sir.
Thank you,
Monica. Thank you, sir.
Hello, friends. I am Sunil Semwal, organizing secretary of this events. I am working in Tulaz Institute and looking after the Tulaz incubator. Also, we have a lot of projects and opportunities available in our incubator. So my request is from participants to visit our incubator website, to visit our college for incubation. Today we have Mr. Vinay Chaudhary. We had the earlier session with Vinay Chaudhary sir regarding this embedded systems and IoT, the components of IoT. That session was wonderful and very informative, and that was on StreamYard and live on YouTube and Facebook. Today's session is on GoToMeeting, And so we are making this session very interactive. You can ask the question directly to the expert. So I hope this session going to be a very informative and wonderful for all the tech guys. So I am handovering the session to Mr. Vinay Chaudhary. Sir, Vinay Chaudhary, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that introduction. I'll first share my screen to start up the session. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll try to keep this session more towards practical rather than focusing on theory. I'll try to show you today the concept of embedded systems with Arduino controller. For those who don't know Arduino, I'll first give the introduction of Arduino, a few minutes on introducing Arduino to everyone. Then after that, we'll directly jump into simulating few projects or you can say experiments using Arduino. Right, myself Vinay Chaudhary from Department of Electrical Electronics, University of Petroleum and Energy Studies. So as introduction given by Sevval sir and Monica ma'am regarding this international training and internship program, which is offered to you by Tech Counselor. These are the experts which I've already had brief introduction about. All right. So I'll directly jump into the session. So let us start by giving a small introduction of Arduino. Now Arduino is the name of the company or the controller who has introduced this particular development board. When we say development board, it has almost all the components on a single board, right? So it has microcontroller, it has interface, you can connect sensors to it. All right, only thing is you need to purchase this Arduino board and start working on it. No need to do any extra, integration or any other thing. So Arduino is actually why this is so much in craze. The reason is because it is open source hardware. Open source in the sense it is available for free. Anybody can download it. Not only downloading it, if you are good at Arduino programming, then you can design your own libraries and provide it to others. Because the complete platform is open source, and Arduino has its own integrated development environment. IDE is normally used to write the code, generate the binary file or hexadecimal file, and then dump it onto the hardware board, or generate that hex file and dump it onto the simulation board. All right. It is very popular because, as I told you, that the complete design is open source. You need not pay even a single paisa to purchase it. Plus, one more advantage is that you can design your own libraries. You can design your own code. If you actually see online, for one particular code, there are more than one library available. Because those who are master at Arduino, they generally try to generate their own library files. You can give your name to your library file. Like suppose I'll create a library file for some sensor, right? Then I'll give that name of that library, my name, Vinay sensor library. Then those who are using it, they'll use it by my name, right? So this is the advantage with this Arduino because it is open source. Plus one more, it is a low power device. It works only with 5 volts. You need not have any high voltage requirement for this. A normal DC 5 volts, your power bank, the power bank what you use, even using that power bank, you can run this Arduino. You need not to create any extra particular power supply or make any particular power supply. Okay. Plus it has digital pins for both input and output, also analog pins for both input and output. Okay. It has pulse width modulation, PWM pins. It has serial bus, that is USB. You use this USB to connect your mouse in your laptop or in your PC, right? So that USB port is also available on this Arduino. We can, which means you can connect your mouse directly to this Arduino board. And moreover, it is not a microprocessor; it is a microcontroller, right? That is why that is the reason why it has limited processing performance. Although it is limited, you can implement almost all the functions using this Arduino. Now the famous boards, the most known boards of Arduino are Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, Nano is also there, Arduino Nano. There are many other boards available, but Arduino Uno is one which is widely used. And if you need any more number of pins for connect, if you have more number of sensors to be connected, then you can go for Arduino Mega. And if you have a very less number of sensors, and if you want small size microcontroller board, then you can go for Arduino Nano also. All right, I'll try to show you some pictures of it. That you can see, the first one is Arduino Mega 328. Okay. Likewise, you have 324. Their features are also there. Each controller has RAM, ROM on it. Almost every Arduino works only with 5.5 volts. Sorry, 5 volts, except this SAMD21, which works with 3.3 volts. This is somewhat advanced version of Arduino boards because it provides IoT feature also. That's why it is here written ready for IoT projects. All right. Although there are other smaller boards available to be used for Arduino for IoT, that we'll see in the coming session, where I'll show you how to implement IoT feature. Right. These are some Arduino boards. You can see Arduino Uno is there. This is your Arduino Uno. Okay. This is Arduino Mini. This is your Arduino Mini. Small size. Arduino Nano is also there. This is also a small size. This you can see Arduino Mega is there, which is having more number of pins than any other Arduino board. Right? These are the pins available. Okay, more number of input-output pins so that you can connect more number of sensors. Likewise, a special Arduino is there, which is called as LilyPad. Okay, so these are the few Arduino boards available in the market. Today we'll try to do all our experiments using Arduino Uno. That's why first we'll see what is the board is having on its particular chip. This is called as development board. Okay, Arduino development board, which is having a microcontroller, which is designed by Atmel. Atmel is the name of the company. So this is your microcontroller. It has 6 analog inputs here. You can see A0 to A5 is written. These are your analog inputs, which means if you have any analog sensor, then those analog sensors has to be connected to these analog pins. Okay. Then the second group of pins is with respect to power supply. You can see it is having power supply of 5 volts. It is having power supply of 3.3 also. Ground pins are also there, right? Now you can either power up this Arduino board using this USB cable, USB port, by connecting this port to directly your PC or your laptop, or else you can use an adapter to power it from here. Okay, so both will work. Generally, it is advised to use this USB port because it will be easy to handle. The controller will be near to your laptop, right? Because you are using a USB cable. Okay. Now this is something called as ISP, in circuit serial programming. Right, so these are the pins for this. If you are using a ISP other than the cable for dumping the code, normally this cable is not only used to this USB port where your USB cable is connected, is not only used to power up this Arduino board, but it is also used to dump the program on it. Okay, but if you don't want to use this USB port and if you want to use this serial programming, in circuit serial programming, then these particular pins are required. All right, and these are digital pins of your Arduino from 0 to 13. Okay, from pin number 0 to pin number 13 are your digital pins. A0 to A5 are your analog pins. Clear? Now, because we are going for coding, I would like to recall some basic operators in C language, because this coding is done in C, C++. Just a recall, just a recall for the operators which we'll be using. Although many of you know it, this is your multiplication operator. This is used for division, addition, subtraction. Okay, shifting operators are there. Left shift, right shift. Right, these operators will try to use in our code. You do a logical OR operation by using this, one standing line. A cap is used for doing the XOR operation, and symbol is there for doing the AND operation. Clear? Next, few other operators are there. Like if you write this plus sign after the variable, say this is your variable I, right? You're writing this plus operator after the variable. Then what will happen? First, the variable will be assigned. Like here, if you see, I wrote here j equal to I plus plus. So the sequence of operation, what is happening? First, I is getting assigned to j. Then after assignment, the increment operation is happening. Clear? Opposite is this pre-increment, when you write the plus sign before the variable. So here what is happening? First the variable is getting incremented, and then it is getting assigned to the other variable j. Similar is this decrement, post decrement, and pre-decrement. Clear? And remember that whatever the number notation what we are using is hexadecimal. Like example is shown here, 0 cross FF. In C language, if you write 0 cross, which means you are using only hexadecimal numbers. Okay. Instead of 0 cross, if I write 0B, B for binary, then you need to use only zeros and ones. Okay. If you don't write anything, you're not writing 0 cross, you're not writing 0B, then the number what you're giving is decimal number, that is 0 to 9, any number between 0 to 9. All right, so these three number notations are there: hexadecimal, decimal, and binary. We normally use hexadecimal, so each hexadecimal digit will take 4 binary bits. Okay, I'll explain this in the programming also when we go for programming. Next, the declarations, the type of data types and the type of operators which we'll be using. Say integer, we normally use integer more, right? The the length of integer variable is this much, plus 21474 to minus 21474. Okay, example is this, int x equal to 1200. Likewise, we can use character declaration as character. The size of the character will be this much, 127 minus 127 to plus 128. Okay, sorry, plus 127 to minus 128. Example is this character r, right? We normally use this integer and character more when compared to other data types. Now this is how the Arduino screen looks like when you download the Arduino software from the website arduino.cc. I'll tell you how to download also. Once you download and open this, open the Arduino, this is how the screen looks like. It basically has two loops. One is this setup loop, where you do complete setup of your circuit. I'll tell you what should be there in the setup loop by taking an example. And once your setup is done, then what the main code which is to be run for the circuit is written in the loop, void loop. Void loop, you can consider it as an infinite loop. It will run again and again continuously until you stop the circuit by powering it off. Until you power off the circuit, this code will be continuously running. And suppose if you don't want this to be running in infinite loop, then what you need to do? Can anyone answer? If you don't want to run the say code in infinite loop, and what you do is you write the complete code in the setup loop only. You keep this void loop empty. So suppose in the setup loop you define what are the inputs and outputs you are using, which pins you are using, and suppose you write the code, you run the code only for 2 times. Then you write the loop in this for 2 times, and then you run the complete code only in setup loop, and your void loop will be empty, so that the code runs only for given number of times and not for infinite times. All right, this is normally required in power saving technologies, whenever you need to save your power. No doubt you're keeping your Arduino on, but you're not running any program on that Arduino, right? So any doubts in this? If no doubts, then I'll go for the simulation part directly. If any doubts, then you can post it in the chat box. I hope you're getting this,
Yeah, so far we do not have any doubts, sir. Somebody had
Okay,
just written he has used Eclipse when worked on Atmega 16. You want to comment on this?
Atmega 16, if you have used it independently, not as a development board. Like Arduino, it has a complete development board. And if you have used Atmega 16 individually, then you have used Eclipse, right? So let us go into the practical session. So what you can do is, as I've told you, you can download this Arduino software Arduino from the website arduino.cc. You just type the website arduino.cc. then this is what you can see. It has many tabs. You can buy a Arduino. If you buy a Arduino from here, you'll get the original device. Okay. You can learn few projects also, few basics of Arduino from here. There are many other tabs available. Okay. Then if you want to download the software, you go to this software tab, downloads. There the latest version of Arduino will be available. If you don't want to download, then you can do it online also with using this Arduino web editor. You can click on this code online tab and start coding online. If not, you can download this software. See, the latest version is 1.8.13. This software is available for Windows as well as Apple users as well as Linux users. Okay, right? So
Vinay sir, you over there? Vinay sir, your voice is not coming. Either you have muted yourself or like I might be getting some interruption with the voice. Vinay sir, your device is not connected with the audio. Can you just check it out? Dinesh sir, we are still not able to hear you properly. Yadav sir, can you hear me? Samuel sir,
Yes, sir,
hello.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, I think Vinay sir is having some difficulty with the device. I'll just call him and we'll ask him to
Okay.
rejoin us. Just give me 2-3 minutes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Participant, there is a issue. I think technical issue. So please be online and be connected.
इथे माझ्याकडे No, this is टाइम पास के लिए कोई नहीं करता भाई।
की हुई है उंगली में, उन्होंने मेरे को कोई 10 मिनट, वो मेरी लाइफ की सबसे बड़ी फ्लॉप फिल्म है, मुझे चाहिए।
Hello, I have joined with my phone.
Okay.
Am I audible now?
So
Yes,
yes,
sir,
yes, sir.
audible
You
now.
audible now.
Acha.
So do you want to make? Do you want to get presenter right for your device or like for your laptop?
For laptop, I'll be presenting through my laptop and I'll be talking through my phone.
Okay. So I'll just check. I think this is your laptop. I'm making you a presenter.
I can share my screen. I have the option of sharing the screen. I think I've shared my screen. It should be visible now.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible now.
Okay.
Good to go. Good
Right.
to go.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
sir.
Sorry for that. Sorry for that interruption. I don't know.
No issue, sir. I request all to be in the mute mode. And sir, in case if I mute all, I'll be asking you to unmute yourself, right?
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah, Vanessa, you can unmute yourself now.
Yeah, yeah. Now
Okay.
I think it is audible to all.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then good to go. As I've told you, we'll be using two softwares. One is this Arduino, which is open source. The other is Proteus, uh, which is a simulation software. Simulation software, which is actually not open source, but you can use some trial version. You can download the Proteus here from here. The version which I'm using is 7.8, Proteus 7.8. Right. So using these two softwares, first we'll do a basic experiment for blinking a single LED, which is connected to the pin number 13 of Arduino. All right. Now you can see, as I've told you, this is your Arduino setup sketch or IDE, and two loops you can see. One is the setup loop. In this setup, you do the configuration. Like for this program, blinking a LED, we are using pin number 13. So I'll use this command pin mode to make that pin number 13 as output pin. So this is setting up, right? You're setting up the configuration. So in setup loop, I'm writing this. The command is pin mode. What should be the mode of that pin? Then pin number, that is 13, and then whether that pin should be input pin or output pin. Because each pin has only two status, either input or output. So pin number 13 is made input. Okay. Then infinite loop. In the infinite loop, that is void loop. Right. This is your infinite loop. What I'm writing is a command digital write. Digital write. Digital write means you are writing either 0 or 1. And what you are writing on pin number 13, I'm digitally writing a high, that is 1. Then giving a delay, a delay of 1000. Here 1000 means 1000 millisecond, because in this Arduino there are many inbuilt functions. Right, this is delay. You can see the color of this word delay. You can see all the inbuilt functions, whether it is pin mode, digital write, delay. They are all in same color because they are inbuilt functions which are already defined. Like if you consider this other controllers, like somebody has used Atmega, right? In that Atmega, there are no inbuilt functions. You need to write functions if you are using the any function name. Like suppose here I directly wrote delay 1000, which means it will automatically provide 1000 millisecond of delay. But if you are using any other controller like Atmega, individual Atmega, or ARM or AVR, they don't provide any inbuilt function, so you need to write code for this delay function also. Likewise, you need to write code for this digital write also. Okay, because they are not inbuilt, and that is why Arduino is very famous, because a coder need not to every time write a code for the inbuilt function which has to be used. Okay, now so in this Arduino sketch, I'll tell you the options of this menu. Like if you go to file, you already know this, right? New, you can open a new Arduino file. If you have already saved file, you can open it. You can open recent files also. Okay, then there are some basic examples, inbuilt examples, like basic examples are there, blink example is there. Okay, then you can go to digital examples, to button, switch button. Likewise, many other examples are there. There are examples for LCD also, liquid crystal display. Like almost all examples are there. Sensor example is there. Okay. Next, what you need to do is you need to go to this preferences. and you can check this automatic. If it is not already checked, you can select the font size, whether you want 12 font or 14 font. If I change it to 14 and click on OK, you can see the size of this font will increase, right? Likewise, you can select this compilation option. By default, it will be unchecked, so that whatever is happening will be visible in this black window, what you are seeing below the code. Below the code, there is a black window. You can use that black window to see the complete compilation. Okay. Next, these are all already available options. Done. Next, in edit, there are copy paste. You can increase the indent, right? Copy paste option is there. Now this is important, the sketch option, because in this you have this include library. Because when you install the software, not this software doesn't come with inbuilt libraries. Suppose if you want to download any library, what you need to do? You need to go to this option of manage libraries. Okay, once you click on this manage library, this particular window will open, which is called as library manager. You can see here library manager is written. Okay, in this, because it is getting updated now, every time you open this library manager, it will connect to internet and it will update itself. Right, so now it is updating. I think it will take some time, but till then I'll tell you, like here you can see filter your search option is there. If you want to download any library from internet, connect your laptop or PC where you're using this Arduino to internet, and in the search option you can you can type the file name or library whichever you want to download. Okay, you can see in the list of libraries I have almost all the libraries which I have installed it previously. A new Arduino will not have these many options. A new downloaded software will not have these many options. Okay. I'll try to close this. I think it is getting it has established connection itself with the internet. That is why it is not getting closed also. I'll try to skip this. Just give me a second. I'll try to close this. Now it has got closed. So we were doing this program. Okay. So sketch where you go to include library and manage library, and then try to download new libraries. Now this is also important tab, tools, where you need to select the Arduino board which you are using. You can see there is a black dot here. Because I'm using Arduino Uno, therefore I have selected this. Similarly, when you connect a hardware, here the port will be highlighted and it will show you the port number to which your hardware is connected, that is your board is connected. Now because I'm not using hardware, now it is not highlighted. All right. Now the code is written. You need to compile this code. You can click this verify option, the tick mark which is shown. You can click on this. Once you click on this, you can see here the code is getting compiled. Right, once you compile this code, you need to select the hex file. Because you're doing simulation, you need to select the hex file which is here. Okay? This is a hex file. You can see at the end it is .hex written. So I'll copy this hex file. Say I'll copy this hex file because I'll use this hex file in the simulation process. Alright. Now what will I do is I'll open the simulation window also. This is my Proteus file which I've already made. But if you open a new Proteus file, it will be something like this. Empty, completely empty. Alright. So what you need to do is you need to go to this pick up from library option where P is written. Okay. I hope you are seeing this. Click on this P, it will ask you which particular device you want to select. Say suppose I'll write Arduino. It is saying there are no matches available. 1 second. What will I do is I'll try to search it with Atmega, A-T-M-E-G-A. Atmega, you can see there are many ICs available. Okay, a list of ICs are there. We normally either you can select Atmega 16, you can select Atmega 32, 16, 32, 48. So many ICs are there. 32 is here, 48 is here, right? You can select whichever IC you want. I think the IC which I'm using is Atmega 328P. You can see the IC number over here. Atmega 328P is written, so I type that Atmega 328. You can see here it is two options are there. You can select any one, right? Once you select, you can paste it here, and once you paste it, this is what you are seeing. You can see here the name is also there, Arduino Uno R3. So suppose here I type, and if it is showing that there are no such particular matches, then you need to download the library for Arduino from online. Okay. If you have already downloaded, if your Proteus is coming with inbuilt, then it will show the Arduino Uno R3, which is this. Okay. Then I'll use a LED. For LED also I'll type here animated LED. Then you can select the color which you want, right? Here it is showing that this is a bicolor LED. Likewise, you have single color blue, green, red or yellow. Okay. You can see I have selected yellow here, and you can see this is connected to pin number 13. The positive side of the LED is connected to pin number 13 and the negative is connected to ground. Now you can place ground here also. Either you can pick it from library or you can place it here. Place, go to terminal, and then you can select ground. So if you select ground, wherever you want to place it, you can just simply click, the ground will be placed. Okay. Now what you need to do, you have generated the hex file, right? So you need to dump that hex file on this particular board. So what you have to do is double click on this. Here you can see program file option is there. Okay. You click on this. Just now we have done this, right? LED blink. Sorry, I have copied it from here, right? So I'll copy it from here. Then I'll double click on this and I'll paste this here. Okay, you can see it is LED blink dot ino dot hex, which is same as this. You can see LED blink dot ino dot hex. Clear? So click on OK and then play button. This is for starting the simulation. So if I click on play button, you can see the LED is blinking. It will be on for 1 second and it will be off for 1 second because the delay what we have given is 1 second. Suppose I want to change the delay. Okay, I'll change the delay here. Instead of 1 second, I want it for half a second. So I'll write it as 500 milliseconds. Then again I'll need to compile it. So if the compilation is done, I'll go for the hex file. No need to select the hex file again because one time you have given the path, so it will be automatically updated every time you compile fresh. So I'll play it. You can see the speed of on and off has decreased. It is switching on and off for every half a second. Right. Now what will I do is I'll try to change the pin number. Till now I was using 13, right? I'll change it to say 12. So here also I'll change it to 12. Here also I'll change it to 12 and I'll compile it again. Okay, done. Now if I want to play it, if I say try to play it, you can see the LED is not getting on. Why? Because we have changed the connection, right? And at pin number 12, you can see there is something flashing, red, blue, right? Because the code what we have written is for pin number 12, not for 13. So what will I do is I'll delete this wire, select and click, give a right click. Once you give a right click, delete option will be visible. You deleted it. Okay. Now you need to make a fresh connection. So what you have to do is, just a second. One second. Right. So what will I do? I'll go to this pin number 12. Along with the left click of the mouse, I'll select a wire, drag it, and connect it to LED. Done. It is as simple as that. It is just like plug and play. So I'll play it. You can see the LED is now connected to pin number 12. Done. Okay. So now I'll try to show you one more program. This also I'll close. This also I'll close. You can see I've tried to create different patterns of LED. Till now we were just making single LED on and off, right? Now what we try to do is we try to connect 8 LEDs to 8 different pins of Arduino. I'll try to show you the circuit also. Like you can see, this is your circuit visible, right? So what I have done is, you can see what I have done. I have used pin number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pin number 0 to pin number 7, where 8 different LEDs are connected. Okay. Now if I go to the program, now this is somewhat easier program, because if you use the concept of previous program, where what did we do? We simply wrote this particular code, right? Like we wrote pin mode, where M is capital, then pin number 13 as say output. Okay. Now
Vinay sir, can you hear me?
yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Audible?
Yes sir, yes sir. Now your voice is audible.
Right. So I was telling that if you are using the previous program concept, you need to do this for each pin. You need to write pin number, make it output. You need to write pin number, make it output. Right. If you are using 8 pins, you need to do it for all 8 pins. But there is a easiest method by using registers. There are inbuilt register. One register is called as DDR. It stands for data direction. Data. Hello. Hello.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Oh, the screen is visible.
Yes sir. Screen is visible.
Okay, okay. Right. So using this data direction register, it will do the same operation as of this command. But what it is doing, instead of doing it for a single pin, it is doing for this complete port D. You can see here at the pin numbers, you can see port D, so PD7, PD6, PD5, PD4 is written, which means this is port D. Like in Atmega, you have 4 ports, A, B, C, D. All right. You can see here port D is for pin number 0 to 7. Port B, B0, B1, B2 till B5. It is for 8 to 13. Alright. Likewise here, port C is there. PC0, PC1 till PC5 is for analog pins. So if you want to make the program look very small, then you can use these registers. Okay. So I'm using a command here, hash define, defining this DDRD with the name LED underscore DDR. Okay. Instead of LED underscore DDR, you can give your name also, because this is simply a variable. Similarly, port D register is defined as LED. Okay. Now this D register, what it will do? It will do the same command as we wrote there, digital write. Okay. It will do the same command as that of digital write. So I need not to write each pin, right? Pin number 0, pin number 1, pin number 2. Instead of that, I'm doing it for complete port. That is all 8 pins. Because these registers are of 8-bit. DDR-D is of 8-bit. Port D is also of 8-bit. So every bit is for 1 pin. Clear? So by this way, I'm making my program to be very short. but still I'm able to implement more functionality. Size of the code is small, but the functionality executed by the code is high. These are variables I'm using: I, A and B, L and H. Okay. So initially you can see LED underscore dir is given as FF. FF is what? 8 ones, right? 1F is 4 ones, because this is hexadecimal number. Okay, so 8 ones means they are made outputs. LED underscore dir, that is DDRD, is given this FF, so it will become output. And initially LED is 00, that is port D will be 00, which means all the LEDs will be off. Now coming to your main loop, void loop. Here what I am doing, initially LED is equal to 0F, which means what will happen? What is the data you are giving? 4 zeros, F is 4 ones. So these 4 LEDs will be on initially. Okay. Then F0, F0 means what? 4 ones, 4 zeros, right? Which means now this LEDs will be on. So this is nothing but alternate LEDs, right? Alternate pattern. Okay. Now if you consider the second one, LEDs A in hexadecimal is what? 10. 10 in binary is written as 1010. Likewise, one more A is there, 1010. So you can see alternate LEDs are on, alternate are off. Now what you are doing, you are reversing the pattern. It is 5 5. 5 is 0101 0101, right? Now here you are doing a left shift. So how you are doing, initially this pattern you are giving, which means what will happen? It will be 0000001. Okay, then you are writing a for loop which will run for 7 times, because already you have switched this LED on. Remaining 7 LEDs have to be shifted, and then we are doing a left shift. This shifting operator in the PPT I have told you, right? This shifting operator will be using. This is a left shift operator. Now to do a right shift, what we are doing, we are starting with 80. 8 is 1000 and then 4 zeros, which means we are starting from this and we are going towards the right direction. That is, here the shifting operator is a right shift operator. Now you are doing a rotate, or you can say this is also called as curtain effect. What do you mean by curtain? Like the windows curtain or the door curtain. How do you put it? Like initially it will be towards one corner, and if you want to pull it, you pick one corner of the curtain and you drag it so that it will be covered completely, and one corner will be as it is, right? So that is what the curtain effect is. For that we are modifying this particular shift pattern. This is a shift, right? Along with shift we are using a OR operation, logical OR, and we are doing a logical OR operation with 0 1. Okay. Similarly, the rotate right is reverse, because here we have used 80. Here also you need to use 80, right? Then this is an interesting pattern called as converge and diverge. Okay. What you do is, initially the leftmost LED, left and rightmost LEDs will be on, and then you converge them. Okay. I'll show you what those patterns looks like. Say first I'll compile this. I think here I need to declare what is H and L. So here say suppose H is I'll recompile it. Okay, done with the compiling. So what you can do is you can select this hex file. This is your hex file. So select this, copy, double click on this and paste it here, right? Click on OK and start the play button. You can see the first pattern, half LED, then alternate LEDs. Now it is the shifting pattern. Left shift is going on because the LED is shifting from pin number 0 to pin number 7. Now the right shift pattern will happen. Okay, after right shift, you can see rotate curtain effect will be there. You can see how this curtain is going on. It started from leftmost, and it is going towards the rightmost. Okay. Then in the reverse direction. Now the converge and diverge pattern is going on. First converge and then diverge, and again it is repeating from starting, because we have written this program in infinite loop. Okay, I hope this is clear. Any doubts, anyone? If no doubts, then I'll go for one more program. I'll stop this, say close it. Okay, this is also closed. What will I do is I'll try to show you LED with switch. What we are doing here is, now till now we were using LEDs which were getting on and off with respect to program. But what if you want to control the LED on and off with a switch externally? Then we need to use this particular code, where I'll maximize this, where you can see a switch is there, which is connected to say pin number 8, and LED is connected to pin number 13. So you can see switch is connected to pin number 8, and because this is input, you need to make this as input. Pin number 8 is input. LED is connected at pin number 13, therefore it is output. Then what we are doing, like we used to do digital write, right? The opposite is digital read. You are reading the status of pin number 8, and if that pin number 8 is giving high, if that switch is on, then you are writing high at pin number 13, or else you are writing it as a low. Okay, very simple code. So I will compile this. Say again, I'll select this hex file, copy, then double click on this, paste that here, click on OK, and then run. Okay, you can now see nothing is happening. But if I make this 0 to 1, when this switch is 1, LED is 1. Okay, when this switch is 0, LED is 0. Again click on this, the switch is 1, so LED is on. When the switch is 0, LED is off. So now what you're doing, you're controlling the LED using a switch. The switch is in your hand, which means the control is shifted from program to the user. Which means user can now control the on and off. Okay, so this is one code. I'll try to show you one more. Now LED with serial, which means what you are doing here is through USB. If you remember, if you know, serial is nothing but USB, right? So I'll open this. So here I'll try to maximize this again. All right, and the code is opening. You can see this is again your Arduino LED. This is your virtual terminal. This is same as the USB port, because in simulation USB port is provided by this device called as virtual terminal. If you want to place it on the empty screen, click on a right, go to place terminal, sorry, not terminal, here virtual instrument. Okay, then go to virtual instrument, and here you can see virtual terminal is there. Okay, select on this and place it here. You can see there are two pins, TX is for transmit, RX is for receive. These two pins are not normally used. RTS means request to send, CTS means clear to send. Okay, now you can see the TX pin is connected to the RX pin of Arduino, which means from here we are transmitting and from here we are receiving. Okay, now if you see the code, this is again a very simple code. Because you are using a serial USB port, you need to use this command serial.begin. You need to give a baud rate, say 9600 or whatever other baud rates are there. Okay. Right, then here in the diagram I'm using pin number 8, right? Therefore here I've written pin mode 8 as output and a variable A is used. Then I'll wait for the serial port, is it available or not. If it is available, then only this particular program will be run, or else the program will not run. And if the serial is available, whatever I'm typing in that serial, it will become integer. Parse int means whatever you type, it will accept only integers. Apart from integers, if you're typing anything else, it will not accept. And whatever you're typing will be given to that variable. Okay? Say suppose on the serial port you're typing 1, then that 1 will be assigned to this variable A. Alright. Next, if this A is equal to 1, then only this LED will be on, and if this A is equal to 0, then this LED will be off, right? So let us verify this. I have compiled the code. Now I'll select this X file again. So copy it and then paste it here. Okay, and then run the code. Once you run the code, you can see LED is not on. So what you need to do, you need to provide 1 or 0, right? So I'll right click on this virtual terminal and select this option. It is asking me for input. Say suppose I'll type 1. You can see as soon as I typed 1, the LED is on. And say suppose if I type 0, the LED is off. Again, if I type 1, it will be on. If I type 0, it will be off. Say suppose instead of 1 or 2, I'm typing other things like 2. If I type 2, nothing is happening. Say if I type A, alphabet A or capital A, nothing is happening, right? You type anything else other than 1 or 0, space, special characters, whatever you give, the board will not accept. Again, if I type 1, you can see LED is on. Again, if I type 0, LED is off. All clear? So this you are controlling through your USB port, say from your mouse. You can write a program like this. If your mouse is left click, if you're left clicking the mouse, then the LED will be on, and if you're right clicking, the LED will be off. That is 1 and 0. All clear? So any questions, anyone? I think Mukesh, can we show them one more experiment, or
Yes, sir. Yes,
is
sir.
it time? Is it
No,
time
no,
for
sir.
question?
We can take questions. If anyone have any questions, please. Or else Vinay sir will take one more session. one more this practical part, and then we'll conclude after that.
In
Anyone
fact, I have many practical. If anybody is having questions, first we'll answer the questions.
Yeah. So anyone is having any question, please? Okay, we have got one question from Deepak sir. What does serial
Serial
parse
parse
into
int.
do? Yeah,
Deepak
do.
sir, the serial parse int is whenever you are giving anything on the serial terminal, it will be converted to integer by using this parse int. All right. And if you don't write parse int, then whatever is giving, it will be accepted as non-integer. And the code what we have written here, if you see the code what I have written here, if you see, I have declared this variable as integer, right? Okay. Now suppose instead of integer, I'll declare this variable as character. Then you need not use this parse int. Directly you can write here as serial.read. Okay. I hope this is clear.
Yeah, we have one more question, sir, from
Mhm.
Jigme. The question is, what is the approximate price of Proteus software? I don't know, like the
Don't
price.
I don't know.
Price,
You
I
can
think.
actually log into their website and check out.
Yeah, or else I'll also check it out because way back, I think when we were checking, it was too high. But sorry, sir, we
It
don't know the actual price right now,
it is
but we'll certainly
it
back.
is
Yeah,
it is actually too high.
yeah. We
And
have
Proteus is
one
not available open,
question.
right?
Yeah, how
Proteus
to
is not
create
available
Proteus file?
free. It is simple as like suppose if I open any Proteus file, say I'll open one program again. So this is your Proteus, right? So once you open this, now because I've already made a circuit, my circuit is visible. But for if you're opening it freshly, it will be something like this, empty design. Okay. In this, what you need to do is you need to go to this pick up from library option. Here you need to type whatever component you are using. Say I want a Arduino. I'll type it as Arduino, but it is showing that there are no matches available, which means you need to download library for this Arduino, Proteus library. Once you download, then it will be visible here. All right. Any other
Okay.
question?
No, sir, not right now. I think we can take one more experiment and then we will have like final words.
So I'll show you one experiment of 7 segment. This 7 segment, you might have seen this in near traffic lights, right? For displaying the counter. Okay, how many seconds the red light will be there, how many seconds the green light will be there. Okay. Similarly, you can see this in Domino's or Pizza Hut for displaying the token number, right? And similarly, you can see this in banks also, where they'll display the counter, the token number. Okay, I have written a program for that also. I'll try to show you the program first. I think somebody has asked Arduino Uno hardware price. Sir, Arduino Uno, there are, see this Arduino Uno is actually available in original as well as non-original. If you go for original, the price is high. I think Mukesh, it is more than 5,000, right? The original price of Arduino. Okay, so let us first discuss about this.
23 USD for the original one, sir.
Okay,
That is on the
and the
website of arduino.cc.
okay, and I think duplicates or sorry, non-originals are way cheaper. I think 500 also you can get it.
Yeah, 450, 480, 520, something like this on Amazon.
Right, right.
And yeah.
Okay. Now this is the code for the 7 segment. First, you just to quickly tell you about the hardware specification of this 7 segment. So this is your 7 segment, right? Okay. You can see every segment is a LED. You can see 7 segments are there. Name of the segments are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then 8th segment is decimal point. Okay. Each segment is one LED. All right. Now suppose I want to display this 5 on this 7 segment. Then what should be my hexadecimal number? You can see here, this is in binary. Number 5 is in binary, and if you want to display 5, which segment should be on and which LED should be off? You can start from here. A, B, C, D, like here. This is your code. 7 segment A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If you want to display 5, except B and E, all the LEDs should be on, right? So this is what is the code. And there are two types of 7 segments. One 7 segment is one where if you give 0, then the LED will be on. The other one is reverse. If you give 1, the LED will be on. So here we are using the 0 type, which means except B and E, all the segments are on, including the decimal point. Therefore, they are zeros. And if you give the reverse pattern, what will happen? It will be 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, right? Which means you are switching on the LED by giving 1. So that is how this particular codes are formed. Each code is for a number, right from 0 to 9. Okay? And we are using two ports, port B and port D. Alright. And this is a simple code where in the infinite loop we run it for 10 times because we are displaying 10 digits 0 to 9, and then we are writing it those digits in an array form. The name of the array is 7 underscore segment. The size is 10, and in that loop that is which is running for 10 times, in this loop we are calling each array each element of that array, and then we are giving it to that 7 segment. Okay, so I'll try to show you this working prototype of this. Now, so I'll copy this X file here again. Copy, paste it here. Click on OK, and then run. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 9, and then it will go back to 0, right? Now in the program, say suppose I'll change the delay. Here delay was 1000, right? So I'll make it 300 milliseconds. Again I'll compile. Okay, I'll not copy the hex file because it will be already updated. You can see the speed because we are displaying it for every 300 milliseconds, which means in 1 second 3 digits will be displayed. All right, this is single 7 segment. There is something called as multiplexed 7 segment, where we try to display 4 digits by connecting 4 7 segments one by one. I'll try to open both. This is a multiplexed 7 segment. What you can see here, there are 4 7 segments. Yeah, I'll open the code for that. Now this is a code for it. Till here you can see everything is same. Okay. The only thing changes here is these loops. Because we are using 4 7 segments, I'm running 4 loops. So you can see D is there here, C, B and A. Okay. And this is for delay. Alright. Then first 7 segment is selected here, second is here, third is here, and fourth is here. It is in powers of 2. Alright. This is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and 2 power 3. It's not simply 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead, we are using 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2 and 2 power 3. So 4 7 segments I'm using. And in every segment, I'm using the same array, 7 underscore segment. Okay? Let us see how it will work. You can see delays, how much I'm giving, only 1 millisecond. Let me tell you how this code will run for 1 millisecond of delay. Yeah, the code is compiled. I'll go for selecting the X file. Copy it. Double click on this and paste it here. Click on OK and then run. You can see the speed. How the count is changing. It is counting from 0000 to 9999. You can see this particular, the left rightmost 7 segment is not changing because of the delay. The delay is very small. Even though it is changing, it is not visible to the human eye. Now what will I do is, I'll change the delay amount. Okay. Say instead of 1, I'll give it as 200. Okay, 200. Everywhere I'll give it 200. Then again I'll compile. And then I'll shift it. Now because the hex file will be already updated, I need not copy paste it again. Oh, something else has happened. Achha, this is getting changed with every cycle because the delay I have given it for all, right? Okay, I'll change this delay to say 5. This I'll make it say 1. This I'll make it say 2. This also I'll make it as 2. Now you see the effect, how this changes will happen. I'll stop it. Okay, I'll play it again. Now you can see how a bit, you can see that last 7 segment a bit faster. Okay. So this is how you can play with the code by changing the delay amount. All right. So I think we can now take up questions if anyone has.
Yeah, anybody
Yes,
is having any question, please?
Yes, Deepak sir, this ISIS is Proteus. It is the name of this Proteus only.
Any other question, please?
Although there
I
are
think
many other programs and other things available, that I'll cover it in the next session. You can see the
yeah,
list of programs are there.
Vinay
I'll
sir,
try
next session.
to, yeah.
Yes, sir. Continue, please. Sorry, sir.
Yes, I was telling that I'll try to cover it with the hardware also if possible. I'll try to show you one experiment where the LED will be automatically changing its light with respect to the day and night condition. Say if it is day, the light will be automatically off, and if it is night, then the light will be automatically on. So this is the best example for street light, where you do not have a person to switch on the street lights every time it is dark, right? And you need not have a person to switch off the street light every time it is in the morning. So the street lights will be automatically functioning according to their own, depending on the condition of the light. I'll try to show you that experiment in the next session, along with some hardware, and in the next session we'll try to start IoT feature also. Okay. Oh yes, you can contact me. I think already my mail ID is provided in the chat box, so you can take that mail ID and contact me anytime. Any other questions?
So I think we do not have any questions. And again, Vinay sir have one more lecture on this Thursday, and then one on Friday. And handing over the session to Renu. Renu, are you over there? Renu?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Vinay, for sharing your time and expertise. It was really great honor to have you as an expert for this session. I must say you have explained this core technical subject in a smooth and generalized way, which I believe will be helpful for all domain people. Your subject knowledge on Arduino and the way you have taken the hands-on session was really appreciable. This will certainly help student professionals who want to work on tech-driven startups. I once again thank you on behalf of all organizers, co-organizers, sponsors, and technical partners for taking out your valuable time. And Tech Counselor team, thank you for your unconditional support. We will be waiting for your next session to be scheduled on the coming Thursday and Friday. Thank you, sir. Now handing
Yes.
over the session to Dr. Simwal.
Yeah, Vinay sir, would you like to add something?
Hello.
I think Deepak Baguna sir was asking that to cover IoT in the next session. Obviously, next session is scheduled for IoT only.
I think our next section with the Vinay sir is on Thursday, on this Thursday on 9th, and then again he'll be with us on 10th also. Seval sir, are you over there? I think we have lost the connection with Dr. Samwal. So now we will be ending the session. Before that, Monica, would you like to add something?
Hello. Requesting all participants to please switch on their camera so that we can have a good picture.
We have next generation also with us. That's great.
I think I'm also visible, right?
Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, visual. Neo sir is also with us. Rashri ma'am. Then Vilas ma'am is over there. Ayush Rana. Renu is also with us. Subham sir is over there. So we all can have like one photography session. Neo sir, welcome to the session. It's again a great pleasure for us to have you with us. So we'll take one or two snapshots. Okay, we'll just wait for 10 more seconds. Okay, Monica, you can click the images.
Two, three.
Thank you all the participants. And on Wednesday, we will be having Dr. Fabio Massi with us. He is the technical director for IRDRA at Italy, and he'll be taking a lecture on this natural resources for the next generation startups. We already have posted that thing on LinkedIn as well as on our Facebook page, and we'll be sending messages on our group and on every other platform. So we hope that his lecture will be wonderful, and Vinay sir will be taking his session on Thursday and Friday. Then he'll be continuing on this 9th and then on 10th. So thank you once again, and we again welcome you all for this wonderful event. So we'll be leaving. We request all to kindly leave the session. Monica, I think you can end the session.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, certificates will be provided to all. क्या